Yo, what's good? Next gen Amolytics. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'll speak about yesterday and how we did there, and then we'll move forward. Went 4 for 5 and hit the homer with Maniac. So it was a good day. Our fifth spot didn't hit. Vlad, in the order that I put him, you can put him in any order you want, but the order that I put him top five wise, the top four hit. Vlad didn't come through there. I was attacking Tyler Alexander, the left-hander. He pitched 4 innings there. As I said, they had the opener, and he came in. Vlad saw him once, roped one down the middle, but just didn't land. I think they had the defense shifted to the middle there, so just bad spot for him. And then they put some righties in there, and he just rolled over on some. So it is what it is there. You got Jose at number one. He went 1 for 4 with a double against Springs, and then Machado. He didn't necessarily get a hit against Lorenzen. He got his on the later half of the game. I want to say like the last, maybe the seventh or the final, the ninth there maybe. He got a double and a home run. So he came out against the bullpen. San Diego did get to Lorenzen, as a thought for 8 base runners there, but Machado did not. And then you got Arraez, who was our number 3. He went 1 for 5 that game, got a single against Lorenzen. And then Pena went 3 for 4 for the game, had 2 knocks against Kikuchi, homered off Kikuchi, first at bat there as well. So, and then Maniac, as I said, Maniac got his homer against Gallen. That was a crazy game. I think it was 14-8 score-wise, so 22 runs there. So if you took the over there, as I mentioned on yesterday, then you got cashed that easily. Moving forward onto today, I'll give my top 5 and then a homer as usual. I like Wilson, Jacob Wilson of the Athletics, going against Ortiz of Cleveland. Ortiz is supporting a 158 whip against righties, a 12% K to walk rate. And then you got Wilson with a 328 weighted OBA, 6.3% K rate. As I was looking at this, I noticed, Ortiz struggles on the road. I'll speak to his last 4 away games. He went 6 innings pitched, 10 base runners, 6 earned against Seattle on Sunday. Against the Yankees, he had a decent game there, only giving up 6 base runners in 5 2/3. But I'll say this: that Yankees, their offense has not been here this month. So for context for that game, in my opinion, wise, Detroit got to him for 9 base runners, 3 earned. Cincinnati got to him for 8 base runners, 2 earned there. Both of those games, he's going 5 innings. And of course, like I'll speak to one more. Washington at the beginning of May got to him for 8 base runners and 5 earned there. So he's giving up a lot of base runners on the road. That minor league ballpark in which Wilson's taking advantage of. He's already a good hitter, but in that minor league ballpark, enhances that a bit. From that game also, I like Kwan on the other side of Cleveland, going against Spence of the Athletics. Spence, struggles with lefties, has a 150 whip that he's given up to lefties. Also he has a 14% K to walk rate, which is decent there. But with Kwan, I'm not necessarily worried about him striking out by any means. He has a 4.2% K rate, a 390 weighted OVA versus right-handed pitching over the course of the past 2 weeks. And with Spence, it's a drastic difference between him versus left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. I think left-handed hitters have a batting average north of 300, and then you have right-handed hitters with a batting average, I want to say sub 200. So drastic difference there, in which I believe Kwan can take advantage of. Cleveland, even out this series. I don't think the Athletics have been playing that well. And I forgot who Cleveland had on the mound yesterday. Was it Bobby? Yeah, Bobby. He sucks. And they suck against lefties. I mentioned that yesterday, that they're not good against lefties. So I wouldn't expect him to win that game yesterday, and Bobby's on the mound. You guys already know how I feel about him. He's not an ace by any means. But anyway, moving forward, I like Acuna of Atlanta going against Perez of Miami. I expect Atlanta, to even out this series. Yesterday they had 8 hits, 8 to Miami's 9. They had a rookie on the mound there, and Miami hopped on him. So I don't expect Miami going up 2-0, on this series by any means. I expect the bats to come out for Atlanta, starting out with Acuna, who has a 597 weighted OBA versus right-handed pitching over the course of the past 2 weeks with a 11% K rate. Then you got Perez, getting killed by righties, to be honest. 240 whip there with 11% K to walk rate. Only has 2 starts on this year versus Pittsburgh and Washington, in which he gave up 6 base runners and 7 base runners in those. And those offenses really, aren't good by any means. Only went 3 innings and 4 innings pitched in those. So they might be on a limit on a pitch count. So we'll see Miami's bullpen as well, which I love that for Acuna and Atlanta. And so with that being said, I'm going to double up here. I'm going Olson too. Olson has a 422 weighted OBA against right-handed pitching, a 17% K rate. You got Perez, 169 whip against lefties and a negative 4% K to walk rate, so not getting Ks by any means against lefties. Olson's on 11-game hitting streak right now. So I expect the whole offense to get after Perez, but I like those two in general. But and then my last one, Abrams of Washington, going against May of the Dodgers. I expect this one to be high scoring. It was high scoring last night. It was 6-5 for the Dodgers won yesterday. I expect this to be high scoring again. Abrams, leading off there. 415 weighted OBA versus right-handed pitching, and then 12% K rate. And then you got May struggling with lefties, has a 189 whip and a 6% K to walk rate. So I like this spot for Abrams. And May's going to see a whole bunch of lefties today, about 7 of them at least, 7 or 8 of them in Washington's lineup. So you got Abrams and why am I forgetting his name? Kid at the top there. Oh, Wood. Wood also. He's going to see a whole bunch of lefties on today. You could go Wood, Yard there, or Abrams. May can and will give up home runs. Home runs in his last 3 out of 5 too. He gave up 10 base runners last week against San Fran, 10 the week before that against San Diego, 8 against the Mets, 6 against Cleveland, and then 6 against Arizona. So I like Abrams to start it off here from the leadoff spot. With that being said, I'll give you my top 5. I like Acuna, Wilson, Olson, Abrams, and then Kwan in that order. Home run wise, I was kind of shifty on this one. I like a lefty against this able kid of Philly. I believe they can. The Mets can get to him. They need to do something. Currently on like a crazy, like, it got to be 7. Is it a 7-game losing streak? It's 7 or 8-game losing streak right now for them. And the kid he went against the Cubs 2 weeks ago and got shelled. Other than that, he hasn't really faced anybody offensive wise that's decent. He went against Miami, Toronto, and then Pittsburgh. So this will be a test for him. I believe they can get to him. You got McNeil, you got Nemo, you got Lindor batting from the left side. He's given up 2.3 home runs per 9 against left-handed hitters, and it has a 43% hard hit rate for lefties. Soto has a 517 slug over the course of the past 2 weeks as well. So I like any of those lefties, but I'm gonna go Soto here, just off the strength of his hard hit rate is insane. I want to say it's near 70%. He's hitting the ball hard. So I expect them. I don't know if I expect them to get to him, Abel here, but I did see that the line when I last looked at it, Philly was like minus 125 on the line. So, that's telling me that they don't really, that's, about 15 cents off a even price, a pick 'em. So that's telling me they don't really, necessarily love Philly here. So I expect, the Mets to put up some runs. I'm not sure how much, but I don't think the Phillies, honestly, in my opinion, have been very good either. So like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, they did beat them 10-2 yesterday, though. I will say that. I forgot who was pitching for the Mets, but they also had their ace on the mound yesterday in Willer. So yeah, I expect, they could even up this series. Philly has not been playing that good, especially with Harper out. But yeah, so I like Soto there. And as I mentioned, like, you can pick any one of those lefties, being Nimmo, McNeil, or Lindor. But I'll take Soto in this spot. So that's my top five, and that's my homer. If you want to be notified when I post, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. Like, comment, share. Let's get this money today. Let's go.